Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Young and Restless Eric Braeden on a rival soap? They asked me. In June, we brought our readers news that BFFs The Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives Greg Rickhart, Kevin, Leo, and the bold and the beautiful Rebecca Budig, Taylor, would be hosting a new series titled Soapy. With the debut episode released this past week, their first guest was one of daytime biggest stars, Eric Braeden, Victor, having been on the CBS soap for over 45 years. Viewers have watched Victor go through many trials and tribulations since 1980. When asked why he stayed on the soap for so long, Braeden gave credit where credit was due and stated, "Because I had a conversation with Bill Bell." Watch the video below to hear why that specific discussion kept Victor in Genoa City, and being on a soap for so long, we have to wonder if another show ever came knocking on Braeden's door. Well, Budig did as well and asked the vet, "Did another soap ever try to poach you?" The actor gave a little laugh, then later the actress asked again, "Surely when you were doing contract negotiations someone came sniffing around?" Braeden acknowledged that there had been rumors here and there, then added, "But no, I don't talk about that." However, he did admit, "Once I took a trip to New York in the early years. They asked me to come to see someone in New York, to which Rickhart replied, 'I'm glad you stayed.'" We're glad Braeden stayed with Young and Restless too, but could you imagine? A character like Victor on All My Children, One Life to Live, Loving, As the World Turns, Another World or Ryan's Hope. Yep, those were all the soaps that filmed in New York back in the day. Watch the premiere episode of Soapy in its entirety. Below, the very idea seems impossible. Victor Newman anywhere but Genoa City. For over 40 years, Eric Braeden has embodied the mustache-twirling, heartbreaking, power-wielding titan of industry on The Young and the Restless. He survived hostile takeovers, romantic upheavals, and more comebacks than a Marvel superhero. Through it all, he's remained the immovable cornerstone of the show, a figure as iconic as the theme music itself. So imagine the shock when, in a recent candid interview, Braeden dropped a bombshell. "They asked me." He was referring, of course, to another soap. A rival show. One that came knocking when his future on YNR was uncertain. And yes, he considered it. Now, in this exclusive creativity-driven piece, we take a look at what that moment could have meant for daytime TV, why Braeden said no, or almost said yes, and how his loyalty to The Young and the Restless continues to shape the show's past, present, and future. They asked me, the offer that shocked daytime. Let's start with the headline. In the interview, Braeden didn't name names. But he made it clear, a rival daytime drama reached out. The context? A time of creative uncertainty. Contract negotiations were either stalling or had grown strained. And while Victor's presence on screen never waned, behind the scenes, there were rumblings. "You don't do this job for 4 decades without people taking notice," Braeden remarked, and yes, there was interest elsewhere. Speculation spread like wildfire. Was it General Hospital? Could Days of Our Lives have dared to imagine Victor Newman popping up in Salem under a different name, perhaps as a long-lost DiMera cousin or a Cassadine power broker, or maybe it was The Bold and the Beautiful, with its fashion house power plays and longtime Newman crossovers? What's certain is this: the thought of Eric Braeden in another universe, not as Victor Newman, but as someone else, sent fans reeling. The alternate timeline. What if he'd said yes? Imagine the soap universe splitting open for just a moment. What if Braeden had agreed? Option 1. General Hospital's introduced as a Greek shipping magnate, perhaps one with unfinished business with the Cassadines or ties to Helena's shadowy legacy. He spars with Sonny Corinthos, seduces Tracy Quartermaine, and becomes the dark mentor figure to Spencer Cassadine. In this version, Port Charles gets an influx of gravitas, and Victor Newman's aura, however renamed, lives on. Option 2, Days of Our Lives. He shows up in Salem claiming to be a business partner of Victor Kiriakis, only to reveal himself as a long-lost cousin seeking revenge. He tangles with E.J. DiMera and goes toe-to-toe with Marlena in psychological warfare. The twist? He's got secrets buried in Stefano DiMera's old vault. Option 3. The Bold and the Beautiful's a Forrester competitor, a self-made billionaire from Europe, determined to destroy Forrester Creations. But he ends up sparking a passionate affair with Quinn, Brooke, or even Sheila, and takes over the Los Angeles fashion scene. He'd walk into the room like thunder, suits sharp, eyes sharper, all tempting, all impossible. Because there's only one Victor Newman. Ultimately, Braeden shut it down. "I told them, there's only one Victor Newman. And he doesn't hop from town to town like a salesman." That single quote encapsulates not just Braeden's deep connection to his character, but also his understanding of legacy. To play Victor for 4 decades isn't just about reading lines and standing on set. It's about creating an institution. Victor Newman isn't portable. He's not a character who can be reimagined elsewhere. He is Genoa City. He is Newman Enterprises. And according to Braden, he still has more story left to tell. What keeps Braden anchored? After more than 40 years, countless accolades, a daytime Emmy win, and a legion of fans, what keeps Eric Braden showing up? I owe it to the fans, he says, and to the people who built this show with me. Gene Cooper, Doug Davidson, Melody, Thomas Scott, Christoph. We didn't just make a show. We made a world. It's loyalty. Commitment. A recognition of how rare long-term storytelling truly is. He's fiercely proud of the character he built, flaws and all. Victor is not a good man. But he's a real man. You understand him, even when you hate him. That's why he's endured. The legacy of Victor, a character unlike any other. When Victor Newman first appeared in 1980, few expected him to last more than a handful of episodes. Originally cast as a villain in a short arc, he quickly evolved into one of the most complex characters in soap history. He's manipulated, protected, destroyed, and rebuilt. He's battled Jack Abbott, married and remarried Nikki, and raised children who alternately love and loathe him. He's been shot, imprisoned, and presumed dead. Through it all, he's remained compelling. Braden turned what could have been a one-note tycoon into a multidimensional legend, and according to Griffith and other writers over the years, there is no backup plan. No recast. No rewrite. Victor Newman is Eric Braden. End of discussion. The weight of daytime loyalty in a genre often plagued by budget cuts, abrupt cast exits, and behind-the-scenes shakeups, Braden's consistency is a stabilizing force, not just for viewers, but for the cast and crew alike. Melody Thomas Scott once said, "There's something comforting about knowing you'll see Eric in the hallway every morning. You can count on it. That's rare." And while other daytime stars have bounced from soap to soap, finding new lives in different towns, Braden has made it clear, "I'm not for rent." He doesn't see The Young and the Restless as a stepping stone. He sees it as a home, the future. Is there ever a goodbye? Of course, the inevitable question looms. Will we ever see a day when Victor Newman leaves Genoa City for good? Braden is realistic. He's spoken about health scares, about the importance of family, and about the finite nature of life. But if he has his way, when Victor leaves, it'll be on his terms. And it'll shake the foundations of this show. But I'm not ready yet. He's still involved in major storylines. He's still delivering powerhouse performances. And his presence still commands ratings. Griffith confirms, Victor isn't fading into the background. In fact, we've got a major arc for him coming up, one that ties into the murder mystery and could force him to confront the darkest parts of himself. It's vintage Victor. And Braden's in the thick of it. Final thought, a king stays on his throne in the golden age of television. Loyalty has become a rare currency. And Eric Braden, fiercely loyal, passionately invested, is a reminder of what long-term storytelling can be. Could he have jumped ship for a rival soap? Sure. Would he have made a compelling Cassadine, a threatening Dee Mara, or a ruthless Forrester rival? Absolutely. But in the end, he stayed where he belonged, in Genoa City. At Newman Towers. On the throne he built, because as he said, with the kind of quiet intensity only Victor Newman could master, they asked me. But I already had everything I needed. And we, the fans, still get what we need. Eric Braden. Victor Newman, the one and only.